John Ness Beck was born in the year of 1930 in the state of Ohio. After obtaining a degree in arts and sciences with a major in English, Beck enlisted in the United States Army. During this time, he became increasingly involved in arranging for various musical groups. After his discharge from military service, he returned to Ohio State University and completed Bachelor of Music and Master of Arts degrees in music with composition as his major. Although his start was not initially in music at all, Beck's start in the Army was a springboard for a successful musical career. Beck was best known for his settings of sacred music and contributed considerably to the world of 20th century choral and vocal music. His choral style was seen to have lush harmonies combined with expansive forms. This style crossed over into his solo works as well. An example of one of these vocal pieces was entitled Song of Devotion. Song of Devotion is a solo composition Beck composed for voice and piano. The text is sacred and is adapted from Philippians chapter 1 verses 3 through 11 in the New Testament, which reads, I thank my God on every remembrance of you, always in every prayer of mine for you with joy. I have you in my heart. And this I pray, that your love may abound yet more and more in knowledge, and in all judgment, that ye may approve things that are excellent, that ye may be sincere, being filled with the fruits of righteousness, unto the glory and praise of God. Beck chose to adapt this text to music using an ABA form. However, the phrase lengths and chord progressions are irregular and unusual. For example, the first A section of the piece is made up of 14 measures, while the final A section is made up of 18 measures in length. This is the final A section, made up of 18 measures in length. The B section is made up of 10 measures in length, and is followed by a 4-measure transition to the last A section, shown here. This unusual phrase length is necessary when considering, and in Beck's composition of, the lack of clear rhyme and rhythm in Scripture. In order to maintain textual integrity, Beck chose to compose irregular musical phrases and unusual harmonic ideas. These ideas are shown in the melodic line of the singer and are supported by the piano accompaniment. The A sections are predominantly in the key of A major, but we see moments of the tonic being altered up a half step as early as measure 6. As a result of the tonic being altered in the piano, the vocal melodic line of measure 5 does not finish the way that we expect. In measure 5, we see the singer outlining a C-sharp minor chord in second inversion. However, instead of ending on C-sharp like we want it to, the chord ends on F-sharp, giving us a jolt of uncertainty as the tonic of the key is altered and the melody adapted to fit the alteration. This melody, of course, is pretty, but not quite what we expect. Here's what it sounds like. Here's measure 5. So instead of dropping to the C sharp as we expect, the singer ends on an F sharp instead. The primary source of beauty of this piece, then, is not purely musically, as much as how the beauty of the text can be portrayed, using the music as a mode of transportation, by way of text painting. Both A sections set the text that reads, I thank my God on every remembrance of you, always in every prayer of mine for you with joy. I have you in my heart. The chords set underneath move very little. Beck used quarter and half notes predominantly moving back and forth in a flowing pattern. His use of non-chord tones gives a sense of an ethereal feel, which makes sense when considering the text. Keywords include thank, God, prayer, and the phrase, I have you in my heart. This vocal line was set with a more arching melody headed toward heaven. Rarely do we see the same note being repeated consecutively after the beginning, "I thank my God," or the very final, "I have you in my heart." This poses a melodic idea of uncertainty of location of heaven or God in general, aided by the ethereal movement of notes in the piano. Overall, the A sections paint a location of beautiful uncertainty while maintaining moments of harmonic stability. The B section is more unstable harmonically, which we would expect from a pre-20th century B section. However, the roles of the voice and the piano seem to be swapped, and harmonically stable moments are far less frequent. We would expect, based on our previous experience with the A section, more movement from a vocal line and less movement from a piano line, and we see the opposite is largely true in this piece. In the A section, the ethereal movement comes from the melody line. In the B section, the ethereal movement comes from the melody line. In the B section, the ethereal movement comes from the piano line. Again, this movement comes from a line set in quarter notes, echoing the vocal line of the A section. In the B section, the vocal line is more of a drone, set in eighth notes, starting on D sharps. When we get to the end of measure 22, the melody returns to its ascending pattern, established in the A section, to the highest note of the piece, F sharp 5. And, like the A sections, each climax of melodic line is met with a louder, stronger dynamic to portray more accurately the text. The text of the B section reads, "And this I pray, that your love may abound yet more and more, in knowledge and in all judgment, that you may approve things that are excellent, that ye may be sincere, being filled with the fruits of righteousness unto the praise and glory of God." Shown here. Here we see the melody from the A section come back. Beck's use of text painting, starting in measure 22, emphasizes the phrase, "unto the glory and praise of God." One can imagine the glory and praise of God as the singer crescendos to a fortissimo on a rising melody up to the highest note of the piece. The next four following measures gently descend into the familiar, although still harmonically unexpected, material of the A section. These unexpected harmonies become oddly normal-ish to us by the end of the piece, which could have been Beck's intention all along. His melodies do not fit the norm of harmonic composition, but still retains beauty provided by text painting and seemingly random uses of stable harmonies. Beck was able to present this text, this song of devotion, in a way that truly seemed to aim toward heaven.